So just to give you a background, there are those of us who were born in the 70s and 80s, early 80s, and many of us did not get raised with what we call the internet. I know that's big information for some of you millennials. We back then had microfiche and what is called Encyclopedia Britannica. Those are books, by the way. There was no Google when we were born. We had to look up in a book, A through Z, whatever fact we were looking for. And then we had to cite them in a paper based on the page and create what is called a bibliography. I'm not sure you guys know what that is either. So, not to dumb it down anymore. For some of us, things like PowerPoint are very scary. So over the course of the last 6 years, while becoming sort of a psychic, I decided that I was going to create an online avenue for it. That again, if you've not heard my story, I went from hairdresser, having never touched a computer in my life, 20 years behind the chair, working really hard, one-to-oneing all of my clients, to becoming a psychic, and deciding that I couldn't one-to-one to the degree that I needed to if I was going to be a psychic, but that it would be in my best interest to create what we call programs so that I could teach other people A, how to be psychic, or B, how to create business, because those are the two things I'm best at. So now I'm taking business owners, like they are all hard and laid business owners, brick and mortar, everything from your esthetician to your hairdresser, to a chiropractor, to an acupuncturist. If you are a hands-on energy healing preneur kind of person, I am working with you right now. So many of which are like me. We, because we were so busy working hands-on with people, did not learn basic computing skills. And so today I was working with somebody and we were having to have the conversation about Keynote, PowerPoint, and Canva. And so there's this little program called Canva where you can make beautiful pictures and Instagram stories and all the things that you need for social media and the world that we live in now, as well as beautiful slides for PowerPoint presentations, which I'm sure every corporate American understands what this is. But those of us who are new to this, mind-boggling. So last year, I went to an acupuncture appointment and I was in this crazy hard business program, like crazy, crazy hard business boot camp. Little did I know at the time that it was going to become, an aspect of my business. Little did I know how important it was going to be, because on this day, I went to my acupuncturist quite confronted, quite afraid that I had signed up for something that A, cost $100 million in my brain, and number two, that was going to challenge every aspect of my entire being and really get under my skin and try all the things. So she gives me this acupuncture treatment. She says it's special. Everything I do with her feels special. So I leave her place and the next morning I wake up and I'm told in this online class that today's going to be the day that I have to put together a webinar. Now, again, for some of you, this might feel like, duh, webinar. But for me on this day, webinar is the scariest word that you could say to me, because I have to go to, one, a new place, not Canva, no, Haiku decks. And if you have not explored Haiku decks, it is perhaps the most beautiful deck of PowerPoint presentation cards you'll ever see. It is also $10 a month, and no, I'm not affiliated, and I do not make $1 of it. So that $9.99 to join Haiku somehow sets me over the edge, and I wail and I cry and I am so disappointed. It was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I decide on that day that this program I've signed up for has robbed me of every dollar I've ever needed in my life. I'm not ever gonna go back to this program. I'm calling the owners of it. I'm emailing, I'm texting, I'm putting shit on their Facebook page. I am that confronted. I am that mad about this $9.99 Haiku deck. And I'm even more scared, because I'm not really mad, right? Mad is really just short for scared. I'm actually just scared for my own sake that I don't know what I'm going to do once I figured out Haiku deck, because I've never made a PowerPoint presentation in my life. I'm 43 this year, and I was 42 last year. And so 42 years, I had never made a PowerPoint presentation. Wailing crying. 7 a.m. to around 7 p.m. when my dear friend Jess shows up, and she's like a corporate girl, and she's like has a master's degree, and she like full on speaks PowerPoint, and she hits a button and she hits another button, and she's like, here, push your dummy, push this button, and voila, magic happens. And my presentation downloads, matriculates, uploads, and plops into PowerPoint. I woke up the next morning a much different person. I wasn't so scared or confronted with life or business. But when we're making shifts and changes, when we're up leveling our business, it's not just the mechanics that we have to learn. It's not just the aspect of like, if I just understood Instagram, if I just understood email, if I just understood SEO, if I just understood how to sell things, if I just, is the story of business here. But the story of business actually lives here. Because this here, this why you wake up every day, this who you are serving every day, is what gets us past the PowerPoint presentation meltdowns. So as I was walking somebody today who's in my course through the PowerPoint presentation meltdown, I was reminded of this story. And I was reminded of how I felt in the story, and how scared and how sure I couldn't go on over a PowerPoint presentation. And so I want to wrap this up by just simply saying what I discovered weeks later, because I have to tell you, I woke up literally, you guys, the next day, a different woman. So like, I cried for 12 hours straight, snot rolling out of my nose, so confronted, ready to quit on everything. By the way, the company, who I will not name in this, the company who I was boot camping this business thing through, did not let me out of the program. Okay, so that's good news. Super good news, because I would have quit that day if they'd let me. But I woke up the next day, and it was like I had gone through all my fear. I had gone through all my fear. Something we don't talk about in business is like, mostly what we're doing is working through our fear every day. Working through our not good enough story, working through our unknowns, our not knowings, our misunderstandings, our not sureness. We are working through that, and we are mindsetting the fuck every day out of our lives. And we are doing it every day for our clients. We are doing it every single day for the people we love. That's what you need to know about business and business owners, is that we are confronting our fears every single day so that we can serve you. That's all we're doing every single fucking day, is confronting our fear so we can be in service. I later went back to my acupuncturist, because if you don't remember that part of the story, I'll remind you, I went to acupuncture before the Cry Fest. And I tell my acupuncturist that I finally put the puzzle together, that it was her voodoo magic that erupted me in tears. And let me just say, she goes, huh, yeah, probably should have told you. Gave you a special treatment that day. And it is the special treatment of the dragon. And the dragon treatment is one that brings all of your shadow fears up so you can confront them. Little did she know that PowerPoint was going to be my dragon. But I slayed that bitch, and I made a webinar, and I got through that PowerPoint presentation, not without tears and not without fear, but I fucking slayed that motherfucking dragon. And I'm here to tell you that if there are pieces in your business that you are afraid of, you can too. You can slay those bitches too. But let me also say this. You don't have to do it alone. Like, the reason that I made it through that night was because I had a girlfriend show up who happened to speak PowerPoint. And I put myself out on Facebook and admitted I didn't speak PowerPoint, and I asked for help. Because the other thing about business is, if you're going to be successful, if you're going to be where you want to be at the end of this thing, you have to ask for help and be willing to accept it when it shows up for you. So if you are in a position, where you need help, you are ready for help, I want you to just feel free to DM me, because that's what I do. That's my job. That's my biz, is helping entrepreneurs see through the fear, see through the doubt, see through the not good enough story, see through all of the nonsense that gets in our way. And then I help you build a fortress, a foundation, the walls, the ceiling, the roof, the fortress, an unbreakable bond between you and your business, your clients, your money, your success. So if you are ready to up level and change the way you do biz, talking to you, you call me, and we can figure out how I might be able to serve you, because you don't have to do it alone. Lots of love, you guys.